Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, and I hope that your day going all good. Now, this session is going to be a very interesting one because in this session today I'm going to discuss about the MLOps and AIOps. Okay, and we'll also discuss like what are the detailed step involved, what are the tools that you need to learn, and most importantly, what are the course you can learn from, which will help you to get started with this MLOps and AIOps quickly. And there are very many misconceptions around this MLOps and AIOps also. Okay, they're also I want to clear up. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, do let me know from where you're joining. If you have any particular query, feel free to let me know, and I will definitely answer them as per my best capacity. Okay, and if you're joining from LinkedIn, um, don't worry. I might not able to bring your question on this screen, but I will tell via the phone. And if you are joining from YouTube, feel free to comment. I can show and highlight in the screen. Okay. So without any further delay, let's get started. I know you don't want talk; you want to see things in function in kind of practicality, right? So let's just get started with the envelopes. Okay, and it's okay. I mean, we'll just get started. Whoever joining, they can later on can see the best like previous one because all live is gonna stay there, so you can always kind of revert it back and watch it. Okay. Now, what exactly is the MLOps? Okay. First of all, MLOps. What is the full form of it? The full form of MLOps is machine learning operation. Okay, and this is a practice that combines machine learning, that is ML in short, then DevOps, which is development operations, and data engineering to deploy and maintain machine learning models to production reliably and efficiently. Okay, and what is this? I will explain. I will try to explain via a whiteboard. So don't worry. Now it aims to automate and streamline the life cycle of ML models from development to deployment. Okay, and monitoring also. Now, what does this exactly mean? So let's try. I mean, I will try to explain in a whiteboard as much as possible. Okay, so bear with me. First of all, let's have a scenario. Okay, that for example, there is a say a building. Okay, building have too many blocks, right? Buildings. Okay, buildings, and these buildings is a called as a manufacturing or production building where the phone get manufactured. Okay, phones, your iPhone, Apple, whatever the phone. Now during this kind of assembling or maybe build whatever it is. Okay, there are possibilities that the screen might get cracked. Oh, sorry, the screen might get cracked. Okay, so like this, a crack can happen. But if a customer somehow got a crack screen like from the order, they will get mad, right? Well, it's bad for many aspects. Okay, what can you do? For example, in the kind of machine production line or say in this machinery, there is a camera. Okay, there is a camera which take pictures of all the phones going the assembly line or say going into the production line, and it's seeing that okay, the phone is a crack. So this picture, this camera can take the picture and send that image via the API. Okay, via the API to a, a cloud. Say you have a AWS or say there is a kind of a server. Okay, server. Let's say for example server. Okay, in the cloud, and it could be where AWS, Azure, GCP, anywhere. Okay, it could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. It could be your on-prem also. Okay. Now, what happening? This API. I mean the camera or say it's a let's call this a camera plus edge device. Okay, or you can just think of anything. Just a device that can capture and send the or say notifying to the server. Okay, so let's call this edge camera. Okay, edge camera. So what's happening here? This camera sending picture or uploading the picture via API and letting know that which particular model and what is the current item that's going through, and this server then analyzing the image, that image that is sent, the image that is sent here. Okay, that image this server is actually analyzing. Okay, and analyzing the image and then deciding, of course, is if it's the image processing going on, there should be some kind of ML modeling running in the server, and that ML model also that this server have the ML model. Okay, so ML model. Okay, so that ML model is deciding that image that's sent by this particular camera or the edge device, is that cracked or not. and this then it's decide, okay, if it's like notifies to the production work line, okay, some human are there who's getting notified, or maybe automatically the system robot is there, okay, robot is there, which is kind of getting notified and is removing that, okay. But based on what the ML model is deciding, then only this either human or say there is robot which is kind of like removing that particular product or particular phone from the production line, right? But the thing is that nothing is perfect in this imperfect world, right? And there's high possibility that the image that is sending, or maybe there is a error in the ML, what could be any reason, okay, and this server need to be updated, okay, this particular server need to be updated, okay. Now that update process is not normal like application development, okay. Here there are many steps, okay, and I'll go through the steps first, then we'll come back to the image. But just to give you a sense of what happening, this server, okay, this particular server need to be updated every time there is a code change, just like your application. You develop applications, right? That application you release features, that application you keep adding the feature branches, keep fixing the bugs, right? So same thing, this particular kind of application, right, this ML model, and that need to be fixed, that need to be improved over the time, and we need to do that efficiently. Now there is two things, okay. Of course there is a server thing, but sometime production work line or say manufacturing, I mean there is no latency is accepted, it has to make the decision. So this edge device, okay, need to be a kind of the deciding factor. Sometimes this ML model may be in the server, okay, sometime this ML model can be into this particular edge device, it could be anything, okay. Then in that case this edge device have to make the decision. So if it's edge device, then edge device machine learning model has to be updated, or if it's server, then the server model has to be updated. In the main thing that you have to update the server or the edge device, whichever running the ML model, and MLOps is surrounding that, okay. There are many things involved, by the way, and I will first cover that one. But just be informed that there are many steps involved and there are many tools also required for each and every step. So let's go through that first, and then we'll come back to this particular whiteboard, okay. Let's go through that. So what are the steps involved? By the way, let me see if any question coming on, not the basic explanation. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, feel free to add the comments, okay, and I will definitely respond to them. I will also open up the YouTube one because I'm not opening that one. Okay, not hey Guru, welcome. Okay, so fine. Now let's understand what are the steps involved in MLOps. Okay, now go one by one. Okay, let's think that the machine learning model you're developing from the code. I mean, of course, you're doing coding for that. You are making changes. You're improving it based on the data, and you're doing all that, right? So version control is very important because you need to make track what version of the model, or like, what version of code from which the model getting generated, that getting pushed and all that, right? So managing the version of the code, data, and the model to ensure the reproducibility and traceability. So you can know like what model went there and it's not working properly, or what model went there in the production and worked perfectly. I need to know, right? So version control do that job. Okay, you get to know about that. And what are the version control tool that you have? There is Git, there is a GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. Then there is DVC, which is data version control. Basically, you either use the any Git. Majority I said seen the Git. While was talking with one ML friend, and he was saying that DVC also still getting used in this company, so I cannot eliminate it. Okay, so both the Git base, that is GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, say other maybe other tools, other Git hosted thing like AWS Code Commit also there, or data version control, either of. Okay, then what? The moment you're making the code changes, right? And that's okay. Let's I think okay. Let me first go to the explanation, but then I will come to the whiteboard. Okay. So the next step is the continuous integration and continuous deployment. So every time you're making that code change, that code change is triggering the new model build, the new integration, the new testing, and all that. Right? Testing will come later on, but it's like starting the CI/CD process. And by the way, if I'm talking about the MLOps, that by the way involves, as the beginning of the definition I covered, right? It's involved the operations, it involves the DevOps, or the development operation, and it involves the kind of data management also. Okay, so all in combined, because you develop machine learning models based on the data, right? So everything is involved, and because of the CI/CD, there is testing, there is all this automation tool coming. We're calling it ultimately MLOps. Okay. Now, in continuous integration and continuous like deployment, you are making sure the ML model, I mean, the code changes which is triggering the ML model is properly tested and all that, right? And to have this CI/CD pipeline in place, you can use either Jenkins, either GitHub Actions, GitLab CI/CD, even the popular Circle CI also, right? So you can use any CI again. The CI and CI/CD tool you should be using based on your use case, where you're running it, either in cloud or in maybe on premise. Is it the code you're running from the GitHub, or the code you're running from the code commit, or maybe other things? So based on many factors we make the decision. Okay. But basically, kind of what happens, right? Every CI/CD tools, it's your commands you're running, your logic is running. So either way, you just wherever you run, the ultimate flow of building the model, the command to build the model, the command to deploy the model, it's going to be pretty similar, I guess. Okay. Then what? Testing. So implementing testing strategies for ML code, data, model, including unit tests, also very important. And I worked for a ML company. Okay, not just ML, I worked for AI company also. Well, I was working for Turing, and that time I when I was working with that companies, okay, there was unit test, there was the integration test, there was validation test, and then is again manual test. So all the tests were involved. At least these steps were very important. Okay, I was working with for the machine learning company using the Jenkins. Okay, and it's a production version Jenkins that I built for them, which I think reduced the build time from hoping 16 hours to I think 14-15 minutes. So as a DevOps engineer, if you're going to work on the say on this as a MLOps kind of implementation, your work will be greatly valued. Okay, and to achieve that, you have to do many kind of strategies: caching strategy, pre-build strategy, and you have to use maybe JMeter to test all the things, right? So again, let's come to the testing tool that getting utilized. So there is PyTest for unit testing using Python. Then there is data validation talk, which is multi-well environment testing, and there is JMeter also for kind of report generation and all that. Okay, so you can use those things. Then there is data management. Now, as I told you that the ML model that is getting built is based on what? The data, right? So of course, data management need to be done in this entire steps of process. So handling the entire data lifecycle, including the data collection, processing, storage, and ensuring the data quality and consistency. Okay, that is also important. And what are the tools that you need to utilize for to achieve this? That is Apache Airflow, which is the workflow management. That is Pandas for data manipulation. There is TensorFlow data validation is there. Okay, and there is many more tools. I'm just covering some popular tools, but there can be any number of tool, paid tool, free tool. Again, based on your company's, your product use case, you have to choose what you're going to utilize. Okay, that's more important. Then the model training and retrieving. Now, this is important. Okay, so automating the training process, including hyperparameter tuning, then retaining the model as the new data becomes available, and that you have to do. And what are the data you can? I mean, what are the tools that you can utilize? TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, ScriptRun, MLflow tracking, and which is managing models. That is, all these tools are getting utilized. Again, there are many tools. There is a Qflow is there, which I was working just 2 weeks back. So there is many things available. Okay, so you have to again decide what to use and what to use based on your use case. Okay, then there is the model deployment. Now, deploying model to production environment in a scalable in reliable manner, that has to be taken care of course, using the containers and orchestration tools. So like you have the models, right, and the server is there. That's maybe somewhere you're running the model as application, which making this that intelligent decision. Is it the screen crack happen? Is it there is an anomaly? Is it there in the transaction there is fraud happening, spam detection, right? All those things, ultimately this machine one application running using these ML models, and it's producing the prediction and the final results, right? So now that application is running somewhere, right? So that particular thing you can of course deploy in normal virtual machines, or you can do it more modern way using say Docker, Kubernetes, or TensorFlow serving, or Cell and Code. Basically, these days what I'm observing, even the last company I was which I worked with this ML thing, they are deploying the models in the so they're building all the, like, they're doing the machine learning using the Kubernetes. Okay, using very big cluster with many CPUs, many memory resource and all, basically the important part was the graphics, okay, which was the which is like ultimately using that particular uh, computing compatibilities, we are making the build very faster, okay. I think that's why Nifty have become number one, because they are providing that one. Okay. Now, ultimately, you are building one thing, then you have to deploy also, right? And for deployment, these days, I think the very default deployment kind of the choice is actually coming to Kubernetes. So, if you are thinking of MLOps, then you should be also learning about the Kubernetes, because that's a kind of requirement for your work. Okay, and of course to do like, build the images and and then testing and all that, you need Docker or maybe similar kind of tool to create the image. Okay, so these are the things. Again, these are a limited tool I'm explaining, but there are many other options also for deployment also available. Okay, then comes to the monitoring and logging. So monitoring model performance in production, then tracking metrics like accuracy, latency, resource usage, and logging events for troubleshooting and auditing. And what are the tools we can utilize for this monitoring and logging part? There is popular Prometheus, then Grafana for visualizing, then ELK stack, and the company that I last worked was the ELK stack. And whoa, I was like deployed the ELK stack for 20 clients in the company. And like the main part, it's okay. The you remember the data management, that data management also become very important while you are managing all this data logging, because all these ML models or this application will generate huge GB, sometime terabytes of data, and handling that, then analyzing that, it takes too much of the processing and all that, right? So you have to design the system very well. Otherwise, you will see the system getting hang, no command getting passed, no server response on the server, and so many issues going to come. Okay, so you have to make sure you do the data management properly, and then do the all this implementation also properly. Okay, then comes to the collaboration and the communication. So facilitating collaboration between the data scientists, the ML engineers, the operation teams is required to ensure the seamless integration and the deployment of the ML models, because like there is something need to be as a binary need to be added in the say the main deployment system, or say any add-on need to be added or plugin need to be installed, and you miss that because of some miscommunication, the model not working for any reason, right? Then what is the problem? That the customer will be unhappy, you lose the business, right? The business value. So you have to make sure the communication kind of a source of all the things. If you break the communication, many things and many mishaps can happen. So make sure the communication is also good. And what are the tools we can utilize for this communication? And this is modern tool, like say Confluence, Slack, Jira for project management, Trello, and many other ways you can kind of document what you're even collaborating. That is also important, because you might say something, I will forget, but if you write it down somewhere, it will stay there, and you can later refer to, okay, you said that thing, I implemented that. Otherwise, you said X and I did B, I did Y, or anything else. That will not sum up, right? That is also important. Then come to the safety and that is the security and compliance. So ensuring that the ML system complies with security policies, regulatory requirement, including the data privacy and the protection is also important. And for that, for different stages of this ML ops flow, you will be using kind of your different tools to kind of secure your credentials, keys, the data, and all that. Okay. For example, if you are using Kubernetes, I mean, there is Kubernetes secret, but I will suggest that not go with the default Kubernetes secret. Instead, you can just extend the Kubernetes secret capabilities to use, maybe utilize say HashiCorp Vault or AWS, say Secret Manager, and of course you have to, for example, if you are working with AWS system, then AWS IAM policies, the users, the groups, all you have to set up properly. Then MFA and all that really required, right? Then of course come to the GDPR compliance. If you're in EU region, you're deploying the solution or building the solution. All things are important. And then comes to the scalability and performance. I think this is one part, kind of deployment also related. But if you design a system, and this is you're talking about the ML, where much resources of CPU, graphics, the memory, everything on it was very huge scale, okay? And it's very easy to do something wrong and it will utilize more thing. So you should be utilizing proper algorithm, you should be utilizing proper ways to minimize the resource usage, and then produce the result that is wanted. And I think if your model able to achieve the 70% success rate, is still a success, okay? Of course, that might be if you do 90% more, it's better. But 70% is the, I think, mean cutoff rate for the model quality check kind of thing. Anyway, I mean that also scale, because ultimately when you're deploying your things, because maybe beats the edge devices, beats the final server where you're deploying the model, could be in AWS or any cloud. If there's multiple requests coming and the server hangs, then it's not scalable. Okay, so you have to also, kind of find out what is the single point of failure. You have to find out how can we make it more scalable, how can we scale up, down, scale in, out, all those things you have to kind of think before kind of having that. Okay, and for the scalability performance, there is Apache Spark, Ray, Kubernetes, Apache. These are some tools. Maybe for the data, use the Apache Spark and say Kafka. For deploying, say, scaling of the main production servers, you can utilize the Kubernetes and all that. So, but you need to integrate a lot more. Okay, not just like adding Kubernetes, anything will not make it scalable. Kubernetes have to have, say, cluster autoscaler is there, and there has to be enough machines that can handle the scaling. If there is required additional machines, virtual machine, you need to provision faster. All things you need to take care of, and these are all involved in the ML, like ultimate this machine learning operations thing. Okay, now again let's visit the definition. What was the definition? That MLOps or machine learning operations is practice that combines the machine learning, which is the ML model building, the testing and all that part, then DevOps, which is the deploying on a very massive scale, and the data engineering, because the data we have to, ingress, I mean, not you say your data as input, you have to, we are supplying to the models. You need to manage the data also, because it's a huge data. It's kind of very very large sums of data, could be in petabytes also sometime, if it's the enterprise data, that you have to maintain, and that you have to say more train, and that requires a lot of work. Okay, so that's why, to do it very efficiently, we have this MLOps. Okay, and there are many, I just told you, right? There are many tools, and again, I'm not taking names of all the tools. There are many tools available in the market. You might need to just do your own research and search about it. I am telling you the things that I know as per my boundary. Okay, so that is that. Now let's come back to the thing we were discussing, right? That what was happened. So either you have deployed. So either you have deployed in a server, okay, in a server, okay, maybe it's a cloud server, okay, or in a edge device in the say factory. And this is, for example, a CI/CD pipeline, okay, CI/CD, and this is, for example, a Git repo, okay. So the Git from Git repo, it will trigger the CI/CD. Then CI/CD, like, of course, in the CI/CD process, you'll have testing, fetching and all that, building the model and all that, and it might require building in maybe Kubernetes or maybe some other virtual machine or maybe some other place. We don't know. Based on your requirements, you'll be deciding that. And after that, if it's passed all the test, integration, unit test, acceptances, all those things pass, then you either deploy to here or deploy to here. But you have to make sure the deployment strategy should have a rollback. Okay, because things might go wrong very easily in these days. I mean, I think everybody will agree that technical what you do, things can break. We should have a planning to revert it back. So that revert back also, as part of your CD plan, the continuous deployment plan, that should be there. Okay, if something goes wrong, that has to be there. Now all these things what you're doing, I think might be I need to hide myself. Okay, yeah. So what we did here is that uh, code changes happen, the improvement will happen on the models, and we have to deploy that to the production. This is the gist of what MLOps is. I have already covered the tools, leads, the key components, right? So this is about the MLOps. I hope you got some idea. Now this is not a full course, of course, and after the end of the session, I will give you the full course links of Andrew NG and another in the LinkedIn link for the AIOps. Now I think we have covered the this what is exactly MLOps. Now let's learn about. Let me see if there is question. Otherwise, I will move to the okay. Star white or please take white. Please take white or green pen. This is a white pen. Oh, this thing I think you were calling for the red. Okay, okay. I will say next. I will when explaining. I will take a. I think make a color is the say white. Oh, I'll do white then. No worries. Okay, so let's see. We want MLOps course from you. Can we expect? Yes, MLOps course. Actually, that I was going to announce in the end. So wait for that. Okay. Okay. Use different color for your pen. White or it is not very clear. Okay. Okay. I'll do that. MLOps or any other cloud, very hot skill. Exactly. So MLOps, AIOps are the very hot skills. Okay. What is the exact application for the MLOps? I think I've covered the MLOps. Then I will come to the AIOps just now. You missed a lot. So I will suggest looking later on. All this concept came from. Okay, yes. Jin, I want to talk about a little bit later on. So let's wait for that one. Okay. You will, yes, I will cover that, Shantan. So don't worry. I will announce later on. Okay. Okay, so let's come back. I think we got to understand about what exactly is MLOps and what are the different step involves in the MLOps. Okay, now let's learn about the AIOps. What exactly is the AIOps and all those things. Let's see if there is any question. If not, uh, I will just thank you for providing the much needed clarity regarding the MLOps learning. Yes, thank you. Now, like dancing it over. Okay, so what is the AIOps now? Okay, so let's try to understand that AI ops, what it's not is that it's not AI operations. It's the full form is that artificial intelligence for IT operations. What that means? What we do? What we do as a part of the IT operations? We do deployment, we do scaling, we do root cause analysis, we fix the bugs, we support the systems, we support the engineers, we make sure systems are running fine. We like operations kind of thing, man. So you as a DevOps engineer, we do all that thing, right? All those things. How about we reduce the burden from us using AI? And that's all about this AI ops. It's not about automating every single thing using AI. It's about automating the IT operations. Like manuals, like you do normally manual scaling when it's required in the say in the many companies, many companies still there is no auto scaling. People not is there manually provisioning thing, manually increasing the say the disk size, manually increasing the processor size, and what not. I've seen that while giving different interviews and even talking with the different lead engineers. So that is where this AIOps coming. And what is this? So AIOps, or what is the short form of artificial intelligence for IT operation, is the application of artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques to enhance and automate various IT operation process. Okay, for example, as I told you, the scaling part of the main root cause analysis, bug fixes, log analysis, all those things we do as a kind of operation stuff, right? That we are thinking to automate using the AI. Okay, so AIOps aim to improve the efficiency, performance, and reliability of IT system by leveraging advanced analytics automation to manage and optimize the IT environment. Okay, now let me go back and explain it. I hope this time it's white, so you guys will not complain. Okay, so let's see. You have a server. Okay, okay, all the server. Okay, and that server, some having, for example, this one having the issue. This one is not working for any reason. This is not working. Okay, so let's cross this one. Not working. This server working fine. This server working fine. Rack. This server not working. This server working fine. Then we have to do a root cause analysis. Okay, root cause. What we do? We get a very big log file. Then that have log written. Maybe it's JSON, maybe it's a simple text format. Then you have to go through different error logs. Okay, different error logs. There we have to then kind of we have to think of what could be the possible reason. We research. So we what do we do the research, or say we do the checking, more checking kind of thing. Okay, so we do that, and then we tried we when we find the root cause. Okay, we found it, then fix it. Okay, we fix it. That's what you do, right? So all this process we are doing all things manually, right? This coming the AI ops. Okay, AI ops. what it's doing, it's fetching the log, it's automatically detecting what is the issue based on maybe it's checking system status and all that. It's seeing for some reason that maybe pod not working, maybe the server not working, maybe could be any reason. Okay, anything. It will fetch the logs in the AI ops system. It will do the root cause analysis. Okay, then it will have the reasoning and everything. It will try to kind of predict the reason, and this stage of the GenAI, everything is possible. You're already utilizing the Amazon Q and all that, which is a very good example of the AI operations. Okay, then uh, either they fix it directly. Okay, they fix it, or it give the reasoning to a human. Okay, and then fix it. But in most cases, it try to automatically fix it. If it's not, or if it's not optional, there a human touch needed, then they notify the human and they fix it. Okay, that is the thing in AI ops normally happen. Okay, now I think this is the basic of the AI ops that I want to explain. Let me like take you through all the detailed steps that is involved in AI ops. I think then it will become more clear. Okay, so let's come to that. Oh, it's again long list. Sorry guys, but you have to go through it. You will find this very similarity with the yeah, MLOps, because it's kind of a subset of like, AIOps is a kind of a subset of like kind of complementary and subset of each other. Okay, kind of both combined help you to achieve the final goal. Okay, so that's the thing. Now let's go with the AIOps. First step is to collect the data, or data collection. That is generating data from the various sources such as log, metrics, event, and traces. Okay, and what are the tools we can utilize to achieve that? There is Splunk, there is the Elasticsearch, ELK stack, then Prometheus, Redox, which is all the ingestion, okay, fetching the data. Then the data storage and management. Of course, if it's huge sums of data, you have to think of storing and managing, right? So storing and managing to be, I mean, the data storage and managed need to be collected data for efficient retrieval and retrieval process and processing also, because it can be huge chunk of data that you're storing somewhere and then you're processing. It could be parallel processing, it could be idle processing, it could be whatever the processing you're doing, but you have to process the data and you have to store the data somewhere, the large chunk of data, and then do the processing of all those logs, all those matrices and all that, right? And what are the places we store the data? There is Elasticsearch, there is Amazon S3, um, there is Apache Hadoop, there is Google BigQuery. These are the places where you store the data, okay, for further analysis. Okay, then comes to the data processing and analysis. What we do there? So we analyze the collected data that is stored on the S3 or BigQuery or Elasticsearch, the large chunk of data, or say logs or monitoring all the data that we are kind of trying to find the insight, find the different anomalies and all that. Okay, and what are the tools that we use for that? We use Apache Spark, we use the TensorFlow, we use PyTorch, Pandas, NumPy, we use all kind of tools. Okay, now then come to the main anomaly detection. So we try to identify unusual pattern or behavior in the data that might indicate the potential issue. So you you have, for example, just think about that. Okay, let me try to explain this in this thing. For example, okay, for example, you have the log data for there is a system which having issues. Okay, this server having issues. You have the log data and you have the say monitoring data. In some place you store the monitoring data, like log data can have the error logs, info logs, warning logs. Okay, all those things. And these have the usage data, for example CPU, RAM, sorry, say memory, then graphics data, like all those things. You like what are the usage data and all that. Okay, then you see there are error happening. Okay, this error happen and this CPU or maybe memory spiked. Okay, then that's an anomaly traceable, and sometimes okay this is maybe missing, that most cases you have it. Okay, so that is where using like different tool data set and all that, we identify unusual pattern behavior in the like the data, and we indicate what it could be the potential issues. Okay, that way we can either try to give the suggestion to fix it or fix it automatically. It's based on the behavior that you adjust or you set or you want, you adjust that or you set that one. Okay, and what are the tools we use for that? There is Let me just go with the tools list. There is IBM Watson AIOps, there is Dynatrace, there is AppDynamics, there is New Delhi, which give you this kind of tools. Okay. Then event correlation. So correlating event from the like I show you, right, this one, this example that I shown you, this is event correlation. We have the log data, log event, and the CPU monitoring matrix data, right? So this event correlations from different understand the relation and dependencies between things. Maybe you run some program which spiked this entire CPU and all that. That's why the system became hang. That's why no request was processing. Maybe the maybe this particular this particular server, okay, that storage was full. Nothing is there. All storage is full. Okay, then what happens? Then also you have issues, right? That is also getting tracked in the monitoring data, right? Then also say, okay, the disk usage is very high, no more space remaining. That is also the kind of a correlation data. Okay, so those are the things that get tracked on this. Whatever. Yeah, those are the things that get tracked. Okay, and using this which help us to kind of identify the issues and fix. Okay, and what are the tools we can use? We can use Microsoft, Big Panda, Splunk, ITSI, ServiceNow. By the way, I don't know too much of this. I use maybe one or two tools, not even this one. I have separate tool, but this was a more famous one. Okay, then root cause analysis. I think this is the most important because you find issues. Okay, very well and good. The client will come to you and say, you fix it very well, give me the root cause. Like you it can be anything. You fixed whatever the way, the client or the senior lead engineer or the CTO will come to you and say, give me the reason why this happened, so that that issue never happening, and you fix the root cause. You don't do band-aid solution. Okay, and that's why that we need to do the root cause analysis, and which is meaning is that determining the underlying cause of the detected anomalies or issues, like main cause, why this happened, why this series of bad event happened, for maybe particular configuration mismatch, or maybe particular code failure, particular code having memory loop, or could be any reason. Okay, that you need to have that particular reason why it happened. Okay, and what are the tools that you can utilize for to track that part? There's PagerDuty, OpsRam, Science Logic, SL1, Manage Engine, and many other tools already available. You can utilize to do that. Okay, and then comes to the automatic remediation, which was a fixing part I was telling, right? That you should be having some kind of solution to automatically fix it. Of course, if you intend that. Okay, now this automatically taking corrective action to resolve the issues. And what are the tools? I think this is going to be favorite, using Ansible scripts or maybe Puppet or Chef, like the configuration management tools you can utilize to fix that anomaly, fix the issue. You can use that. Okay, then there is predictive analysis. Okay, so using the historical data to predict the future trend potential, like before even the issue happen, you can, if you can predict it, right? Those kind of capabilities, or maybe resources. So you know that Christmas happening, Christmas I need 100 or 200 server modes. The AI ops in place, it will automatically provision the 200 server, because on the last 2 years 3 years usage, even if I forget, it will remember, it will do it if we have the AI ops in place. Okay, so that kind of predictive analysis it should have. Now what are the tools that we have to that? We have the data robot, we have the H2 AI, we have Azure Machine Learning, we have the Google Cloud AI, and now we have the AWS, also different the AI solution, right? Q and all those things, which can make that happen easily. Then the monitoring and visualization. So like we need to monitor and visualize, of course. Then we have to see the so what are the resource infrastructure usage, what is the data usage and data visualization. You have to see all this thing. You have to see how the system reacting, how beyond different events, all the data, right? For example, you have the Kubernetes. Okay, then that Kubernetes, how many pods run, how many pod exited, how many pod was failure, how many pods face the pullback error, how many pods having some maybe some kind of getting killed for the memory utilization, or some could be resource inefficiency, any reason happening, that you need to know, you need to track, right? For that reason you have Grafana, Nagios. You have to see, like you have to see is happening, because you cannot every time go and check from the logs or other things. So some kind of monitoring tool for visualization tool is needed to track that part, which is why you have Grafana, Nagio, Zabbix, SolarWind. I like the Zabbix one, by the way. Yeah, I like the Grafana, that's everybody loves. But Zabbix is also something that you need to take a look. Okay. Then come to the incident management. Like issue happen, you're that need to be informed, that need to be taken care of, right? So and of course need to be tracked. That's more important. The incident happened, that need to be managed well. And for that thing, managing the life cycle of the incident from the direction, like from the moment you detect it, the moment to the resolution, entire thing you have to track it. Okay. And what are the tools available for that? You have ServiceNow, you have Jira Service Management, you have Zendesk, which is the customer creating the issue also if they're facing it, or maybe the your QA seeing the issue and they created the Zendesk ticket. Could be anything, or maybe BMC Helix. Okay. Then comes to the collaboration and communication, because when the issues happen, like developers also need to be notified. Maybe it's their problem, right? So you can predictably AI ops can have this kind of capability if you just integrate with the Slack, Microsoft Team, Atlassian, Confluence, or Mattermost. There are many tools. Which just because all these tools. For example, our entire dev team, or say even DevOps, so entire team, for example, okay, it's in the Slack. Any incident happened, the AI detected the incident or predicted it, that it posted in the Slack. Then the engineers can proactively check what happening. Is some problem? Let's fix it quickly. That is also a very good thing, right? And then the security and compliance. Okay, so ensuring that the IT operations comply with the security policies, regulatory requirement. We can have different tools for that, like Splunk, Phantom, then IBM, QRadar, Palo Alto Networks, Tenable, and all those things. Okay, then the scalability and performance. If you see ultimately AF solution is running somewhere, right? Some server, some systems, right? It has to be done. I mean, it's like it's not running, then what is doing? It's running some server somewhere, right? So ensuring that IT infrastructure can scale and perform efficiently under varying load. So even all this IT, AI things running, AI applications running, based on maybe there are many requests, many data coming, you need more additional server, maybe additional ports, additional virtual machines. That should be all set up properly so that it can handle the load. And then when the processing done, it will scale down. Okay. So for that, you have the Kubernetes, you have the Docker, that for the kind of the main um, running part. And there is the data part. You have the Apache Console, sorry, Apache Kafka, and the console. So these are different tools that can help you for the your AI's journey. Oh, I think let me see the comment. I think I was talking and talking. I am not seeing any comments and all that. So let me see if any comments are there, and I will definitely answer them. Then I will give you the courses. Okay. So yes, the show was saying that when are you going to start the MLOps course? The answer to that is that first, that DS thing. Okay. By the way, all these DS things, algo thing, all these things will be benefiting you in the AIML phase. Okay, because people say why you have started that. Of course, to help you achieve like become a better developer in or maybe DevOps engineer in terms of when you're writing the automation script, or like most importantly crack the big take. Okay, like I was that guy who was running away from the like very big opportunities because I was running from the DSA, and I wanted to kind of crack down that. I learned DSA, I practiced it, I was kind of utilizing that, I was studying a lot more, I'm researching. I said, okay, why not do a DSA course that can help the DevOps engineer, because they mostly run away, right? That's why I'm releasing. But that data structure and algorithm course actually gonna help you when I do the MLOps course, when I do the AIOps course. That's gonna help very much there. Okay. Now, um, first I will first complete the data structure, which is gonna take me I think around 1 or 2 months. Okay. After that, I'm going to do the system design for DevOps, which is going to be again 2 3 months. Then maybe at the end of the year, I'm going to do the MLOps and the AIOps courses. Okay. Not before that. I want to go through the complete proper structure there. Okay. Even if it's free courses, I'm going to make sure maintain the some quality. I'll not say very much of quality I can maintain, but yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks for the session. Introduction to MLOps. Is there any? Yeah, I'll share this. These things. So don't worry. Okay. Yeah. So the crash course system. Yes. The remaining videos are done. Again, I'm not getting enough time to edit. There is some needed, but yeah, but the in the Golang course is already kind of most thing like basics and advanced things covered. Only special DevOps courses is there, which I'm doing, but it's again not that very urgent. So I'm selfing that okay, record is done, editing some is done, some is remaining. I will do, but don't worry. Soon you will see the Go course remaining videos launching, but it's not that kind of urgent now. Okay, so that's you will see a very okay. Um, Now that the really forward thinking gets said, I was confused. Yeah, so people actually question that, okay, why DSA? But ultimately we are moving towards the what? The MLOps and AIOps. That was the thing. I was not going to explain that, but then I was saying that help you crack the big tech, and of course all this thing going to help in the future. So combined it was. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah. So I will. So the thing is that if I do very short course, I will be not able to complete the things. Okay, that's why like, I even want to do the small courses. I mean, when I do end the recording, I see okay, the long video become very long. If I want to explain very detailed, very well, it becomes a long video. Okay, for example, I have made that say that Terraform course. I think 2 years back, very small course, only 2 hours. This the course that was made by the say my friend Andrew was very detailed, very good. I was so good. I mean, happy to see that. I was thinking that, but I thought maybe it's too long. People will not do that. So that's why I made this very small course, which is a very concise way to pass the exam. That's the thing. Okay. Combine all goals as a video one. Yeah, that is one thing I was thinking. After this done, maybe I will just combine all the videos and make a long video release. I'll do that. Okay, good. I think by now you guys have a clue what exactly is the MLOps, okay, machine learning operations, and the AI ops, which is the artificial intelligence for the IT operation. Yeah, IT operations. Okay, so now you have that clear. Now let me show you very good courses, and good thing is all these two courses I'm going to show you free. Okay, and you're going to be very happy for that. Now, one thing I'm not sure that one was free or not, but I think for me it's free because I was a kind of LinkedIn premium user. So let me show you that thing. MLOps is actually free. So I will share the screen. I hope you guys can see the screen. Let me confirm. Okay, I guess think you guys can see the screen. Okay, this particular course, okay, machine learning engineering for production, that is the MLOps course, it's very good course to get started, and I will, don't worry, the document I'm going to release, right, maybe 9:30 p.m. today. That time when I release, I will share this playlist link by the I was like blown away when I did this video thing. Of course I'm doing some other courses, but when I found this course, like other course like fika padiya, not that kind of against this. So what I'm going to do, I will share this playlist with you guys, like while sharing the PDF. There is I will see it. In addition to that, there was some documentation for the like this video's entire notes, and that already in this particular by some Kevin guy. I don't know who is it, but he did a great job of arranging all that. So it will be there. This was the MLOps. I think this is the enough thing to get you learn the MLOps very detailed way. Like I even cannot teach that way. The way he teach, he's the god level teacher also for the ML and AI. And then you come to this one, okay? That is the from plural side. That is artificial intelligence essential AIOps, which is the artificial intelligence for the IT operations. Okay, that course by will be Anora. And for AI course, if you have like say it's optional. Is this AI course is actually optional. If you have the LinkedIn Premium, you can actually come to this applied AI for IT operation, where I have seen the all kind of topics is covered, like use case, like say how what it is, how things works, and every single thing. Okay, so it's by the Kumaran by Kumaran. Okay, I cannot spell his like, Ponnabalam, but I loved it his videos. Okay, so this three videos, that is the first one is like I'm not giving you any other course links. I'm going to only give you the machine learning engineering production using MLOps. This one is enough. Then you search by yourself. You do Udemy another place. You do it. But I like those. I'm just giving you less option so you don't get confused. Okay. And artificial intelligence course, this one, if you have the LinkedIn Premium, then you go for this LinkedIn Learning subscription. You can go with this course. Okay. So all these three course links I'm going to include in the PDF that I'm going to share at 9:30 p.m. today. Okay. Whoa, I am done. I'm done with explaining all the AI things, AI ops, ML ops thing. You go ahead and ask any question that you have, and I'm going to answer that. Okay, be it on LinkedIn, be it on YouTube, I'm open to learn answer anyway. So feel free to that. Okay. Let's see from Mananbar. I think that's the comment. Okay. I think YouTube, you guys are joining in the YouTube. So let me see YouTube question and answer that. Okay. In my opinion, any technical course is small mini project. Yeah, I think that's true. Um, yeah, that should be true. I think project based example will be good. But again, let's cover the basics first. Basics of say AI, ML, machine model building, then the operation side things, DevOps things. For example, the ML of course. I have already covered the topics and anything, right? So all those things covering a little bit, or maybe linking the DevOps thing to DevOps related already make already the videos that I've made, or maybe other good places, and then come to the MLOps special use cases, okay, or ultimate project building. But I'll see what I can do on that part, okay. And yeah, I think yeah. Uh, mm, let's see. So, sir, ML a very big domain. My mind and how much ML should be known for. See, the important part here actually, and the interesting part. While I was working as an ML engineer, say MLOps engineer, for this particular company, which is a US based company, it has I cannot share too much detail, but it have kind of it's read data from patients, it process it, it give the prediction that it does, okay. And I was in charge of making the model, that binary, that model I was building using Jenkins, and that deploying part was I was in charge of, okay. And I was hired for that, okay. So like I was hired actually as a senior lead DevOps engineer, but I did the ML ops work. I didn't knew I was joining a ML company, by the way. Just during guys came to me and say work for this company, I just go ahead and work with that company. But I got to learn a lot of things, okay. And after the work done, I leave the company as per the contract, okay. So that's what happened. Now it's good, it was a good learning 5 6 months journey, okay. So let get to learn a lot, okay, how this thing happening, how they're using the integration testing, how they're generating the report, the XML files, then reading the XML file in JMeter and doing all that stuff was very good thing to learn, and maybe it will be utilized in my next projects, okay. So that was a good thing. Okay, for MLOps in production, do they expect AML background? As no, I think actually no. I mean, some form of knowledge they need actually how to build the models and how to deploy things in the models and all that. But there will be a separate team of like, if you're going to if a company is going for MLOps, that means they have a dedicated ML team, okay, machine learning team. As a MLOps engineer, particularly, you will be helping out them. You'll be helping out to say. Get the data, store the data, manage the data, then like feeding the data into the ML models, training them using Kubernetes or other tools, or say other machines using some additional graphics, graphics. What do you say? Graphics features. Okay, so they need bigger graphics card to process all the data. To be honest, okay. So those things. Then I think yeah, mainly then you have to build the model. You have to deploy to the edge devices or production servers that I was doing. I was doing into the uh, production servers, and then production servers. There is a way to we deploy to which IoT device based on the category and all that. Okay, that was there. So yeah, that's the thing. As a MLOps engineer, I did for 6 7 months. Okay, so good, a good learning journey. Okay, as I say, just to give a question, they expect you to know some MLOps thing. Okay, but they don't expect you to be a ML engineer. That's the thing. Yes, I was giving to refer NGO's course. This is very good course. Okay. Is there some mini project with the courses you mentioned, sir? I think yes. When I was checking, there are some like mini example thing, not the complete full page thing. Will nobody will give you. It will be all that kind of projects, bits of projects, small things that you have to join up and make a final project. Okay, that's the thing. Thank you. So yeah, the thing is that the main thing that I have seen that people physically DevOps engineers fear the DSA, but they don't understand this DSA thing, the data structure, all this thing will be required when you're going to do the MLOps. Because when you work with a big engineering team, they will even see that you adding extra space, extra comment, you why you're commenting the code, you remove the code, then how you are processing the data, how you're writing the script, everything they notice, and they will kind of, in how to say it in a very civilized way, they will insult you in the bad way possible if you don't maintain the standard. Okay, you will become good in the long journey, but you're too hard about the wrong words, right? So why not you learn all that things? Why don't you become a better DevOps engineer? You follow like learn some of DSA if you want to join the big companies or it's AI ML companies. It will be for your own good. Be honest, like kiska kya jata? I mean, it's all you'll be learning. You'll be making more salary and you'll be working on big projects, right? So that's the thing. MLOps involves a lot of things. AIOps also involve a lot of things. You will be part of the development team. You'll be helping them. You'll be getting help from them. So it's all about the collaboration. And all, okay, everything ultimate. Your team's goal is to produce the result. For MLOps, is the deploying to the production pipeline and say production endpoints could be used production in production server, or it could be in production edge devices. If it's the AIOps, then find out the error faster, do the root causes faster, predict the issues faster, try to automatically fix the issues by themselves so that you don't wake up. Ultimate goal is that you don't wake up at night at 2 a.m. to fix the thing. If the AI can do it better way, use that one. That was the thing. Okay. Ah, okay. So roughly estimate how much time it will take for any fresher also. Actually, if I say honestly, fresher, if you are an email guy as a fresher, you have the say machine learning degree and all that you've done. Then I think yeah, you go ahead with this. Okay, you will take around 5 6 months to learn all these tools. Okay, and practice it. You will be able to do it. But if you are not an AI engineer, okay, or ML engineer, then I will say don't directly jump to this. You first do some kind of development thing, then or maybe system administration thing, then you come to DevOps, then you move to the, because the the more you acquire the experiences, the more you learn about the system, logging, monitoring, advanced troubleshooting, and all that. That will help you to achieve your ML and AIOps goals. Because if you don't know the software development, you don't have faced for many years all the issues, you will not be able to grasp this. Okay, so that's why I say for fresher, if you have a AML background, you're good, you're fit for that. Otherwise, come by the development route. Okay, that will be helpful for you. So many questions, but yeah, I am happily answering it. I think if no more question, let me see any LinkedIn thing. Hmm. Oh, I got locked out. Okay, let me see any more question. Is there any way to get the recording? Okay, what happened? Mm, okay. Your skills. Is there any way to get the recording of the call for the call to refer later as well? Yeah. So this recording will be available on the YouTube as well as the LinkedIn previously recorded live section. So we'll have this. Okay, don't worry. And please discuss already available about basic courses and ML. I think I shown you right. Oh, you're ML, you're already DevOps guy, but you're fresher. Okay. Very, may yeah, I mean, see, if you have the capability, since you're already 1 year, I will not restrict. I will not say tell you not to do it. But if you already get a grasp of it, how the things done, how the things happen in the life, okay, um, then it's good. Okay, if you are yet to say learn about say system administration, debugging, troubleshooting. When I'm talking about the system, I'm meaning Linux and Windows, because you will be tasked with both kind of thing. Okay, don't expect that in production like I was expecting in past. They will be only getting the Linux. You'll be getting Linux plus Windows, so you should be well versed in both the things. Okay, that will be the required thing. And then all these automations, I would say Ansible getting utilized a lot. Banking systems plus this AI companies where they're doing the deployment on a very large scale, they're doing the bug fixing and all that. So I think those things will be better. And then this particularly this senior lead engineers in these AML companies, they're like, why are you using the Terraform? We don't want to use Terraform. I want to use the Ansible for that. I say, see, Ansible is the configuration management tool, and Terraform is the infrastructure. We are maintaining the cloud infra in the by the Terraform. No, I want to maintain that. Debate was to I want to have the infra in also Ansible. So I tried my best and ultimately convinced them. See, Ansible is Ansible. Sorry, Ansible is for only system configuration management. Use the Terraform for the all the big provisioning of the cloud infra and other things. And finally, they convinced, and hopefully they're still doing that. I don't know. When I left after that, after I left the company, I don't know what happened. Okay. Okay, yeah. So please share the Kate's full course. The Kate's course you don't need right now. Okay, I think I don't know which Kate's course you're asking for, by the way, Varesh. Uh, okay, let's see. Something, let's say I'm creating a CI with the Spring Boot project. Do I need to understand source code like a developer? Actually, no. I mean, see, when you cannot just get a project and run the CI/CD pipeline on that, right? You have to go through the project. You have to, first testing locally. You have to, now that depends. If the code have a Docker file, you're building a Docker file, that's different. But if it's the binary building, if so for example C plus project, for example the grow project, okay, then it will be generating the final binary. Grow project also fine. For example C plus plus, that's a very unique use case. Okay, you have a, for example, you have the kind of IoT firmware, or maybe there are some kind of end user device for firmware that you are developing the end binary, which is executable binary. For that, you like, if you ask me as a DevOps engineer, I cannot go and check through all the, I have zero sense of all the C++ codes. How I can go and check for that, right? So I cannot do that. It's a responsibility of the developer to give us a functioning code. Is the developer who's developing that particular application. He should be giving us. He should be having a unit test cases which we can execute. That we can do, but it's not possible for us to check, like, understand the code completely. So it is not required, because the programming can be in C++, can be in the Rust, can be in the PHP, but not, you don't know. And for us, it's not possible to learn every single piece of programming language. So that is not our responsibility. If you understand programming language, is good, but if not, that is also not requirement, because it is the developer responsibility to give the unit test cases. The developer responsibility to give us the fine working code. If the code fail the test, if the code fail the build commands, then it will trigger the notification. That notification will go to the committer who have triggered the build, and he have to fix it, because the blame is on him. So he'll be doing that. That is how the things works. Okay. So the final thing, no, we don't need to. But if you know, it's good. If you don't know, it's fine. Kubernetes full course. For I didn't did the Kubernetes full course. So maybe Nana's courses, take with Nana, and there are many. Okay, by the way, the in YouTube, I think Harry's also have very good. Many people actually have very good courses in free. In Udemy also for 4 or 500, you have a lot of courses. I will maybe share some links. Okay, uh, if I will search for MLOps Kubernetes or AIOps Kubernetes. If I find some course, I will share. I don't know yet. I didn't check that, but I will share. Okay, don't worry. Please share the Kate full course links. Uh, I will share. Okay, I will see wherever I find it. I'll share. I didn't yet made it yet, because when I was going to make around 2 or 3 years back, I was planning to make a Kubernetes course. Then I saw, okay, there are already many resources available. So why I go through? There is already very good courses freely available. That's why I didn't build it. But that become old. Those courses become old. No such new courses with advanced and newer capabilities is there. Maybe I'll make one. Okay. Um. So yeah. So as a DevOps engineer, we should know the skeleton. That is the thing. That KT, the developer, because we don't know. It's for example the C++ project. Okay, the firmware could be OpenWRT, or could be any other platform that the engineers build the code. That need to be how it need to be tested, where need to be tested, or what are the system you can, maybe. So how we know, maybe we use the Docker to test it, right? Now, but what are the command executed need to be executed to make the final build? Now, unfortunately, some developer think it's our job, but we don't know C++. How we know that? Okay, we are not the C++ engineer. Then we'll do the formal programming. What are you doing in the DevOps? So it's not possible. Okay, so that is the thing. I mean, the developer has to give the code, developer has to give the outline, they have to do the KT with us, so we understand how this thing working, how is the build flow, how is the testing flow. So we integrate that as a part of our DevOps pipeline. That we can do, the CI/CD pipeline, that we can do that. Okay, can we arrange a DevOps career guide video? I did around 1 year back, 2 year back, 3 year back. So I what I do, normally at the beginning of the year, around January or February, I usually do that. But yeah, maybe some life course I will just do this kind of another kind of session on the career guidance. Okay. Oh, when you got your first intern. Okay. So yeah, the thing is that I'll give you the story. Okay. So I was actually not a DevOps engineer for the beginning. Okay, so I was actually a uh, PHP engineer. In the beginning, I joined a company called. Okay, before that, I was trying freelancing with WordPress. I was bumping my head and nothing worked. Like 500 rupees, the client was not paying. So I was like a Bichara developer at that time. So I decided, no, this is not working. The freelancer doesn't work like that way. It's very risky. I cannot survive. So I thought, okay, let's try to join a company. I was doing the my MC that time with Igno. So then I joined a company, Software Maniac in the sector, Kolkata Sector 5, like 1000 rupees salary, unfortunately. Then I keep learning. I have got very good seniors, Mona Lisa Deep, then Alida. So I keep learning PHP, the system designing thing from the beginning itself. They're explaining this is how the system works, Sandeep. This is how you add the data. This is how you use the best practices. So I got to learn a lot of things from them. Okay. Uh, I'll come to that next one. Okay, so that is there, and then there is so that is one thing. Then my senior engineer who I love the most, my Alida left, and so I am leaving the company. So I left the company, then I moved to next company. So like that, I moved to for 3 years. I worked for normal companies as a PHP engineer, web developer, JavaScript engineer. Then I become a full stack JavaScript engineer, which is Node.js, React, Angular, and all that. Vue.js, I did 5 projects, production level projects for a very very big thing. I cannot name the company, but it's a very global company sending. I will not say too much. It will become risky for me. So I work for them. Okay. So those are the things I did. I work for good places. I learn a lot. Okay, I that's why I know about the front end. That's how I know at the back end. That's why I know about the like, while as a developer, freelancer. Then the requirement came like we cannot hire a cloud engineer to scale our system. Sandeep, you build a system. You think of how you can scale this. That's how my journey around I think 9 or 10 9 years back. I think it started as a DevOps engineer. From that day to today, I learn a lot, face issues, wake up at 3 a.m. to fix and debug the system, which got hanged for any reason, certified expired. Then what are the like what not? It could be like the region got some bad configuration of the DNS. The region got down, and I was like, मैंने क्या किया? What was my issue? I did not nothing. The system running fine. The system running ran in my local. Something happened. Then find out okay, it's the cloud server was down and the client was cursing me. The whatever was the situation. Okay, so there are many things I've been going through as a senior DevOps engineer programmer. By the way, I still do the software development in JavaScript, in Python, in Go, now doing the Rust programming, and soon I'll be working production with Rust project. And at the same time, I also do because as a freelancer, you have that kind of privilege. Okay, you can work on multiple projects. So I'm working with the cloud system, AWS mainly. I was designing very high scalable AWS system. Uh, Honestly, there are many requests coming for you should be making Azure and GCP. But thing is, see, I know I'm certified, okay, in GCP and Azure also I know because I worked on it. But I'm not a production. I cannot give you the production, give it great suggestion tips because I didn't work on enough real life projects. I can do work on demo projects, but I cannot give you a pro tip on that. So that's why I didn't make any video. In future, if I happen to work on production projects using GCP and Azure, I will make the course on that. For now, I'm last 8 years I'm working on only on AWS. Okay, so that's the thing. That's the reality why everything I show in the AWS because I not didn't work on other clouds. So I even though I have the knowledge, but since I'm not pro, I will be not giving a half baked knowledge. Okay, off topic from Chandra, you become fitter. Looks like yes, gym going well. I reduced my I'm kind of a big foodie. I think whoever watching from Pune and the Hyderabad, those guys know that I like if I'm seeing biryani, if I'm saying very good looking food, it's become very hard for me to resist. Okay, so I end up eating it, and when I eat, I end up eating too much, so become fatter. So I'm kind of very uh, tight restrictions, like, trying to at least. Okay, and then yeah, I'm beginning. So what happened? My just 2 months back, my weight reached when I was returning from the that Bangalore thing. It weighted around 98 kgs. So wow. That's too much for me. So then from that I reduced to 86 now. So that much reduced doing the gym daily. Today I missed. I have to take my daughter to kind of. I woke up late because last night I was working on this plan and all the things. And the course, of course, the DSA course and for the DevOps, and then all this, Go editing, staying out, have less time. So that's why not able to. But I'm trying. Okay. And anyone watching, by the way, if you are fatter, you become obesity. You are in the think about like me. Like I'm a guy who have many projects, many client, family, daughter. I'm doing it. So if you're thinking excuse, don't do it. You also at least try 3 days. Okay, that is very important. So what kind of go question for fresher do we get during interviews for DevOps role? Do we need to know knowledge of as a gov? No. In Go developer, if is the requirement, they will expect you to know the very basic of Go, like how to build for a particular system. Because see, the system you have an application. They're hiring as a for say your DevOps for Go means they might have a Go stack. Okay, they're preferring that for the Go engineer. So that means they expecting you to have a knowledge of how to generate the binary of Go. And Go binary means what? Your Go application going to run and sit on a system. That system going to be maybe in 86 CPU architecture, could be ARM architecture, could be Windows, could be Mac, for example, Debian, could be Darwin, could be uh, Ubuntu, right? So it based on the OS and the CPU architecture. Based on those two combination, okay, you have to make the final binary of Go using Go build commands, right? That you have to know. You have to make sure that only the main file is single main file. You're using the proper packages modulation to make the final Go project. That best practices how to build, that is more than enough. Okay, sometimes they might ask you how, or say what are the libraries you use for the routing, what Go application you for running the commands like sub process commands, right? Those things they might ask, which is again very rare. They mainly ask if I'm hiring a fresher DevOps guy, a Go DevOps engineer, I will ask him how to make the build. Simple thing. If he tell me that he pass, honestly, okay. Then of course not just Go is enough. Then I will ask about some troubleshooting steps, or maybe some again. There is a misconception, okay. Interview also have two kind of thing. One is there's the general interview, just taking asking question, getting it. Another like say a technical interview, say kind of asking you different questions, see you are fit or not for the position. And then comes to the kind of a behavioral interview, okay. There it entirely depends on the recruiter mindset. They have kind of any jhagda in the house or not. A lot of things, honestly, a lot of things matter. Even though professional world that doesn't matter, but people are kind of combination of personal, professional, all these things. Everything matters. Anyway, you just hope that the interviewer in front of you is good mood, which majority they're not, because of maybe less pay. They have too many interviews and all that. Then they're asking you the question. That means you have to give them the good answers. Okay, so make sure you well prepared with the basic Go syntaxes. Um, and then the related things. And for example, if they ask you, do you know that how can you build a Kubernetes plugin? Okay, now I have already make a video on Go with Kubernetes, how to make that kind of Kubernetes plugins using the Go, right? So those things they might also ask. That those are the things you have to prepare. Okay, from Videsh, your Golang course only used for DevOps area or useful? Kind of I have covered, because ultimately as a DevOps engineer, we deal with the web application. Like we build the application, we deploy the web application, we troubleshoot the web application, whatnot, right? So that's why I covered a bit of web development, API development, and all that. So of course that is okay. If you want to learn about the basic of the web development with Go, you can learn that. After learn the basics part, the construct parts, then the this particular development, because I've covered, and then of course DevOps related advanced steps. Okay, so yeah, it's not just DevOps. I mean, I'm telling it's because I designed for a DevOps engineer, but I already covered the basic Go learning part as well as the web development plus the DevOps areas, right? So it's gonna work for all. Oh, a lot of questions. Let's see. LinkedIn guys, if there is any question asked, I will answer. I don't want to say, but YouTube से तो सब आप answer कर रहे हो. Where is the LinkedIn? Okay. Okay, so great, thank you, Creds, for the appreciation. Thank you. Then thank you, Sandeep, for providing much needed from Manan. Manisha saying that, sorry, Marisha saying that, do you get the PPT? Yes, I'm gonna share 9:30. As I say, 9:30 p.m. after, say, I'm ending the session at 9, for example. Then 9:30, I'm going to release the PPT. And see, most of the cases when I whatever the PPT this kind of I made, I share with everyone. Okay, I'm not the kind of other course makers who keep it and try to make profit of that. I just release it. कुछ भी करना है कर लो. It's your thing. Okay. I've shared the knowledge. I've shared the PDF. तुमको दूसरों को पढ़ाना, you want to teach others, do it. You want to learn by yourself, do it. Okay, all those things are fine. I don't care about much. I will share that. So don't worry. I think yes. What kind of question? I think Kaushik is asking that one there. Okay. So if I refer to your series, no need to. So that's a thing. That's a very okay. When I, for example, even when I learn Go, I have two books. Okay, first let me step by step. Go and some Go programming. So even when I have books, for example, I don't believe on a single book. Okay, I have, for example, two books, one on the learning Go and on the hands-on Go programming. Okay, so if as a learner, if I think myself individually, I don't depend on a single course. So I will never suggest someone to depend only on my course. It's limiting your knowledge kind of gathering power. So what you should be doing, learn the basic from my course or any course, okay, maybe my course, for example. Then you go to other YouTuber courses where you have longer form courses. You see something different or not. Then, or maybe you can go to the Udemy courses. You think you understand the basics, you can now grasp the more complex ideas. Okay, that's why you will be using the multiple source of knowledge to make sure, okay, because even when I'm making the course, I'm not covering every single thing. It's not possible. Okay, in limited time, you cannot cover. I covering the important thing, but there are many things, other things available in the Go also. What will be you need to learn? Okay, again while working, uh, you will be you will be learning a lot. I mean, because most of the things that I've learned, I say I learn from the books maybe 30-40%, and majority of say 60%, 70% I learn from the doing. Okay, that's about me. So learn, okay, fine, learn from multiple sources. Okay, that will like solidify your learning experience, and your knowledge will be improved. And then you make your own notes. You learn from me, learn from other people, you make your notes. That's because even yesterday I was doing a mentoring session, and I was explaining, Sandeep bhai, I was forgetting everything what I'm learning because I'm not doing things. So are you keeping the notes? No. If you keep the notes and you practice it, you try to make a project, you'll remember it, okay, for the longer terms. It's from Koshik, is that can you mention two projects that can keep fresher in their resume? Currently, I am having an end-to-end CI/CD pipeline project or deploying Gates. Could you? I think, yeah, end-to-end project. Then for freshers in that kind of GitOps kind of thing you can do, like changing a Git code and that deploying to the case part or say another cloud thing. Other than that, you can do kind of a mm, IoT kind of deployments, edge device kind of thing, or maybe communication. You have a design a system where you have multiple servers, then you're passing the messages and finding which the client device which were connected and passing the messages, all this relay communication thing, load balancing, then disaster recovery kind of thing. You have a script, how you develop a script, how easily you can utilize the script to kind of change the region. That the configuration itself is not depend on a particular single piece of say availability zone or region. So think of different poses. Yeah, what I'll do, okay, remind me later if I forget. Okay, maybe in some comment or maybe the LinkedIn post or maybe YouTube comment. But I was planning, but then I forget after that, that I was thinking of creating a list of projects that a fresher do, a list of projects that a senior engineer do. I was thinking of making that particular not video but a post on that. It's in the draft. I think last 2 week 3 week back I was writing that. I forgot. Now you were writing and I recall that. So I was giving some ideas, but I will make a detailed article. Okay. By the way, my newsletter, that is DevOps, Cloud DevOps and coding, that reached 40,000 subscribers. The newsletter. If you're not yet, I think you can go, or you can just subscribe my channel. Also, that's fine. But I think you guys are already subscribed my channel because you're commenting. So yes, that is there. So I will share a detailed article. So don't worry on that. Okay. Please share some interview question on Golang. Golang question I will share. Okay, don't worry. And again, I'm saying Golang you will not see a lot of question. The question will come majority from the interviewers on the system design, not system design. Okay, for the senior position system design. Mainly it's mid level or for junior position. It will come from the uh, troubleshooting, then how to link say domains, then this Azure thing, Active Directory. Those are the things. Cloud engineer position, even the DevOps engineer position, so they ask those things. You need to also. I will make a new list. I have already shared one list. I think just 1 week back. What I'm gonna do, I will share a fresh list. Okay, I will share that, which I will call it DevOps interview question version 2. Okay, so let's have that one. Okay, let's see any question on the LinkedIn or not. LinkedIn. Let's see. Um, let's see. Okay. Non-tech question from Guru. Yes, they are all doing good. Guru, I'm tomorrow planning a very well deserved kind of a holiday. I'm going out, driving the car, some very long kind of place for the enjoyment. Maybe you'll see the images on my Instagram. Okay, so yes, all going well. I hope you're also fine, Guru, and we'll talk offline. And by the way, I forgot to ping you for the TSA kind of course study that you can kind of make. So I will sync up. I for completely forgot. Okay, so I will sync up with you. Okay, let's see from the question. Please create a post for difficult DevOps project. I think yes. And actually, I was not considering that. So I will consider. I will add the difficulty level of the project that I'm going to give that. Okay, so yes, that will be there. I think yeah, guys, it's already late night. If you guys have wife and daughter, they will just behind the scene they may be giving you wrong words, so I will not waste too much of your time. Thank you for staying this long and um, staying with me, yes, listening to me all this long, right? How many people? Oh, already kind of 40 people watching. So thank you again for watching this long and staying with me till the end. And yeah, see you soon in my next video. Okay, and I hope you guys enjoy the session. Of course, as an announcement, I will bring free ML of course, free AI course. Okay, but remember the prerequisite for that is the DSA and the system design course that I'm going to start maybe after 1 month. Okay, that you have to remember. Of course, the another very ideal project. I mean kind of a content I always have in mind. I will start. Okay, I'll do that kind of a alternative day basis. Very small videos, maybe short or something on the this um, cloud native thing. Okay, because I was working with so many cloud native technologies, but I'm not publishing too much on that. So I will try, I want to try highlight that one as well, and of course the integration part. See, that will also I will integrate. Okay. So thank you, Kaushik. Um, thank you, Guru. Yeah. So take care, guys. If you are new to this channel, watching the video, please subscribe, and of course I try to make the best content that I can produce. Okay, so be with me, uh, and of course your suggestion always welcome. And see you soon in my next video. Bye. Have a nice day and nice holiday. Okay.